Greetings, people. It's Mr. Paul the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. So, this is part one of two. We are trying to break down the equation. We are trying to find out what transpired, what happened, how it happened, and what is the probability of it happening again, and exploring all the alternative narratives that can come out of this unfortunate event. Because chances are the Suleman's camp can ride on this wave and make it a proper damage control to make sure that their name looks better than before. Because what's going to happen now, you will probably see a PR management script whereby Suleman and team will donate huge sums of money to the deceased, which is a good thing that should happen, which is a noble thing that is not worth cameras or publications. Some things I believe they should just be done behind closed doors. If they want to be honorable, they must just be honorable and take responsibility in making sure that they bury the deceased because they died on duty protecting the so-called apostle of God. So we do not want, probably they'll probably do publications of how much millions of nairas they've given to the families of the deceased, they've given to the wives of the deceased, etc., 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 etc. And the other element which is going to probably glorify the name of Suleman is by making this seem as if it has been long coming, by making it look as if this thing has been planned for a very long time, and because people have failed to bring Suleman down through sponsored bloggers or through stories that have been trending of late, they've realized that the last option of resort is to just pull the trigger on the man and put him down for once and for all. But be that as it may, it's not our major concern. The purpose of this video, I actually wanted to do a comprehensive one, but I'm going to do 2 episodes concerning the headline. Who is after Suleman? Which pastors are after Suleman? Apparently, we have 2 sets of people who are probably suspects behind Suleman's life. And the first set, actually 3 sets of people. The first segment, it involves the government. Suleman's team, they have accusations on the government to say the government knows. And this has been long coming, and this is not the first time the government have been threatening Suleman's life. The second segment, or the second set of a group of people that tend to be accused are pastors, other pastors who are probably jealous of Johnson Suleman's success or Johnson Suleman's ministry. Then there is a third portion which is made of bloggers. Apparently, we have specific bloggers that do not want Suleman or that have been hurt by Johnson Suleman, who have made it their personal mission in their lives to make sure that Suleman goes down. So before we explore these 3 different aspects, I'm only going to touch on 2. The set of pastors and then the set of bloggers. The one of government, if I am going to do an exception, I'll also do an in-depth analysis of why Suleman is pointing fingers at the government or why he thinks the government might be behind this. Let's start with pastors. Before I jump into the accused pastors, this is going to be a conspiracy theory, but this conspiracy theory, I'll try by all means to try to connect dots and interlink certain pastors whom I assume Suleman or Suleman's son are suspecting or accusing of being behind the plot to bring Suleman's down. But before I bring you that, let me first play you my favorite prophet, none other than Omoto Fofane, what he said recently before this incident happening. Let me make a disclaimer before you watch this video. I'm not saying Omoto Fofane was referring to this incident that happened, but there are just few dots that I want to connect from there, and I'll back them up with a video that was done by Kassy Chukwu, the lion killer, the Akara Ho. So listen to what Papa J said before the month began. Check it out.
I want to now tell you people that it is written clearly. I have been warning and I'm still warning. Don't fly your fly. That witchcraft or that witch, this warning to all the witches and wizards. And those who have evil minds against mankind. You have evil minds against any man, any woman, any pastor, any prophet, any apostle. This is warning. Because the Lord says something terrible is about to happen to those who are flying, who have evil mind against their fellow brothers. In this Ember month starts from now, this month. Ember month started from this month now, So I'm warning you. So anything happen to you, you are the person that knows. Because the Lord is about to now send vengeance to the enemies. So from now on, touch not. Do not touch my children. Do not touch my children. And do not touch my prophets and my pastors, my apostles. You see things that you never expect to see. Don't blame me. Don't blame the children of God. Are you hearing me? God bless you. I love you all. I remain Prophet Jeremiah Moto 3, Papa J. Don't try me. Don't try me. You try me, try my God. Shalom.
So in this video, Papa J is warning people who are after his ministry, but he's not going to be direct. He's going to use a figure of speech. The reason why I'm pointing a finger at Papa J is because of the recent narratives that were spread and that he bought into. In the previous month, Papa J has been made to believe that Mr. PDT was paid by Johnson Suleman to go after him. And the blogger that made this narrative was Maureen Badejo. Maureen Badejo was the one who sold this narrative. And so many people believed her. Papa J believed her, to a point whereby their relationship, Johnson Suleman and Jeremiah Omoto, it was kind of disrupted. And I don't even think they're in good books now. That's why you ended up seeing Jeremiah Omoto going after Kassy Chukwu. All those unlawful arrests that followed Kassy Chukwu, the detainment, etc., were all because Jeremiah Omoto was made to believe that I am being financed and I am being paid by Suleman to expose him. So when he did this video, it kind of rang a bell, and then I thought, which people, which pastors could be after Johnson Suleman? And even if you listen to the video that Suleman did soon after the incident, he said he knows the people who are after him. He said he's very much aware of them, but he's not going to call them out, because if he calls them out, they are going to come out and deny. Which made me think through, and then I just had my mind, jogging through back in the memory lane and tried to connect dots. And it so happened that someone sent me a video. I think it's even recent. Yeah, it must be recent because of the context. When Kassy Chukwu was being interviewed by a specific person and he was being asked, who could be after your spiritual father? And I want you to listen to Kassy Chukwu's response, and I'll expagorate. I'll explain further. Check it out.
And I know that he said is not happy with what happened. What is happening? Why is always in the news for negative narrative? Talk to us, please, in 3 minutes. Just take this one in 3 minutes, sir.
If you know they inside, you know go feel know wetin they happen. Even fellow pastors, they're ready to make sure the fellow pastors go down. Some pastors are not happy with some pastors. I want me to understand, say there's a contention of power. Who is going to be the next Idahosa and the next TB Joshua? This thing is what I've been clamoring for, which some people are not paying attention for. Some pastors want to be the TB Joshua. They want all road to lead to them. Some pastors want to be the Idahosa. They want all road to lead to them. So if they see any contender, they are ready to do anything to bring the person down by fire, by all means. That's what I have to say.
In Kassy Chukwu's response, he is saying that there are some jealous men of God out there who want to see my spiritual father go down. And as you all know, and there's a fact that he actually raised there, that there's a vacance on the post of TB Joshua, the late TB Joshua, and the late Bishop Idahosa. You know, the prophetic landscape in Nigeria has not been the same ever since these two demigods passed away, Idahosa and TB Joshua. Their vacancies, their spots has not yet been filled. So according to Kassy, so many other prophets, so many other upcoming have been contesting to see who can fill up these two positions, or who can stand to be the new oracle in Nigeria, who pulls the biggest crowd. And if you look properly into the individuals or participants who have the likelihood or who have the potential to fill in these spots, is Jeremiah Omoto, who is the TB Joshua of Wari, and it's Johnson Suleman, who happens to be Kassy Chukwu's spiritual father. All these other Isaac Idahosa, come on, these are just pruny fellas. They do not have any influence. They do not have any numbers. Chris Okafo, come on. They do not have any numbers that we can put them on the contestants. And then we have this other witch doctor, what's his name? Joshua Iginla. Come on, this one is very irrelevant. He's all over the world. He's just traveling in between countries to try to seek relevance, because that one has been known to be a fake completely. There's nothing about Iginla that is of God. He's practically just a witch doctor. He practices pure witchcraft, but he's covering it up. Let me not dig deeper into Iginla before I meander off the main topic or the theme of the conversation. So the two potential participants, the two potential prophets or DDGOs that are likely to fit in the shoes of the late TB Joshua and Benson Idahosa, it's Suleman and Papa J. So the competition that Kassy is referring to of trying to fit in these shoes is definitely the competition of his spiritual father and Jeremiah Omoto for fame. But we all know Kassy has been silenced, so he can't really speak out loud what he really wants to express. But I told you that I still have faith in Kassy. One day, one of the good days, he's going to come back and he's going to stand like the lion killer that he was before he was tamed and before he was silenced into becoming a I don't know what he's killing now, but whatever it is, it's no longer lions. So that's basically what Kassy was alleging, to say on the list of pastors. Of course, he has to generalize and make it sound like he's not pointing a finger at anyone. But I thought, I picked it up from him the moment he mentioned TB Joshua, that people want to fit in the shoes of TB Joshua. Who else wants to fit in the shoes of TB Joshua other than Papa J? Papa J even used to call himself the TB Joshua of Wari. Who else has the potential to fit in the shoes of TB Joshua other than Papa J? Papa J emulates everything that TB Joshua was doing. Papa J tried by all means to become closer to TB Joshua, even though he was not given that much of an opportunity, because I'm sure TB Joshua had seen one or two things that were not right about Papa J. So I'm assuming that Kassy is referring to Papa J to be one of the pastors who is behind the assassination attempt. This is a conspiracy theory, but based on the few dots that I have connected, and based on what Papa J said in that video, that this is the Ember month, and he's warning people that something is going to happen. I do not know what he was referring to that he said is going to happen, but could this event be one of the things that Papa J spoke about that was about to happen? Let's just think through it, connect your dots, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me not exhaust everything that I have to say. Let me leave the floor for you so that you tell me what you think. And then wait for the part 2 where we are going to explore on the second batch that Suleman's team and Kassy Chukwu are suspecting to be behind the assassination attempt on Johnson Suleman. Could it be Papa J? Which other pastors could it be? I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, but I want you to just connect the dots as I have tried to do. And you let me know in the comments section. And also listen to what Kassy Chukwu had to say concerning the pastors that are trying to sabotage his spiritual father from being on the throne or from occupying the vacant seat that was led by the biggest witchcraft, by the biggest witch doctor, by the biggest witch doctor from Nigeria that Nigeria has ever produced, TB Joshua. So you let me know what you think. Could Kassy Chukwu be spot on, or could it be Papa J who is behind this whole thing? I'm not saying he is, and I'm not saying he's not. But who could Kassy Chukwu be referring to that is trying to dethrone Papa J from taking the throne, from the throne that he is, or from his way up the throne? You let me know in the comment section, and then just wait for part 2. I'm sure it's coming any minute from this one, because I'm going to do it as soon as I'm done with this one. So it's Mr. Pull the Trigger. I'm out.